I'm late.
No, you got here right on time.
No, I'm late.
It's The Late Show.
Sorry, I'm late.
You're too late!
The wizard is never late.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm gonna see the show.
But not to come late. You are late.
You're late, man. Always late, huh?
The hour grows late.
You're late. I'm not paying for those.
But is he already too late to save his friends?
You're too late.
And I'm like, dude.
You're not going from Mary Poppins to a savage killer.
I would say yes, it lives up to the hype. What little hype I had for it was pretty damn good.
John, would you please get off your phone?
Make me.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, everyone. This week is hold on. All right.
Take two.
Welcome to Late to the Show podcast with John and Jake. Jake has a cold.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You got me in this fucking closed room with you?
Yeah, that's right. And my cat. I'll kill you all.
I hope you could
backed
still.
away.
Yeah, I hope you could still pick me up from back. You've touched my mic now. I can't touch this. All right, I'll just come back in. Here we go. All right. Anyways.
All right. So yeah, Late to the Show podcast. This week we're doing the movie Goodbye,
Lenin.
John Lennon. It's the movie about how he was shot.
Yo, too soon.
What?
Too soon.
You know what? I also didn't realize Lenin, like the Russian guy, was spelled different than John Lennon.
Yeah.
So I had a hard time finding the movie at first.
Lenin.
Yeah. Well, I did Lennon.
Yeah, clearly.
And then also, I didn't realize goodbye was 2 words. In the movie title.
Yeah, in
it's
the
2
movie
words.
title, it's 2 words. But
Yeah. So I had a real hard time finding it on Amazon. For a second, because I watched it today, I was like, fucking A. The internet took this movie away right before I was going to watch it again. You gotta be kidding me. But no, we're good.
I'm glad that didn't happen because
Yeah.
we'd be having another filler episode
Yeah.
right after the other one.
I wonder if anyone actually listened to that.
Maybe Nick.
I actually don't even think he did. Because he didn't mention anything about that episode, but he did say he listened to Snowpiercer, which was the one that came out after that, so...
Yeah. He's probably like, I don't need to know any of this
I
information.
know enough about these fuckheads.
I'm related to half of them.
Okay, but yeah, John, this is a movie you saw, right?
Yeah, this is a movie I've seen and that nobody else I know has seen other than yourself, I guess Kate, and then
Kate
Molly.
didn't really watch it. I explained it to her at the end, though.
Yeah.
Because she, like, kind of started paying attention at the last 20 minutes of it. I'm like, oh, yeah, so this has all happened.
Gotcha. Yeah, Molly's watched it. You've watched it. Kate kind of watched it. So that's it. Those are the only people I know of who've seen this movie. But I like this one. I was a little nervous going into it again. I'm like, what if it's not as good as I remember it being? And it was still pretty good. I still very much enjoyed this. I used this to earn language center credits when I took German in college instead of doing actual work. I'm like, I'll just watch a movie in German. And I'll learn through osmosis with the subtitles on, so I'm staring at the bottom of the screen the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Not even getting that lip sync down.
Yep.
Limp sync.
What'd you think, Jake?
I liked it. It was a good movie.
I do actually need my phone because I have a picture of something that I wanted to discuss once we get a little further in.
Okay.
But,
sorry.
So, what's this movie about, Jake?
Hold on. I had a question for you.
Okay.
Well, okay, so the movie takes place in the late 80s to 1990 in East Berlin, Germany. Kind of East Berlin, because it's not East Berlin after the first 30 minutes of the movie. I wanted to ask you, do you know, because you're a history major also, do you know a lot about that time period? Like,
not as much as I'd like to. My focus on European history was older than that. Like Middle Ages, like 1600s.
Okay, old school shit.
Yeah. Renaissance. I find that shit more interesting.
Yeah, sorry, my cat's doing pull-ups in his cage like a fucking prison inmate. Getting buff so he can slit our throats at night.
And the door is open, too. It's not like he's trapped in there. But, no, I know that the Soviet Union was weakening, and the people of Germany wanted unification. It is one of the various historical events that, whenever the whole, if you could go back in time to see one historical event, what would it be? I would love to go see the Berlin Wall fall.
Yeah,
I can't imagine what that kind of environment, what that must have been like.
It's pretty interesting that you say that, because the same thing is going on right now in North and South Dakota. They're trying to become one Dakota.
Yeah.
They're just trying to tear that wall down in between them.
But that in the middle of nothingness, there's just a giant wall between the Dakotas. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully
it
one
ends
day.
at the end of the states too. It's
Yeah.
weird. They could just walk around, but
Nope, they can't.
these imaginary lines that humans set up to try and separate one another, they're more powerful than you think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
There's nothing in North Dakota. If you're listening from North Dakota, find somewhere else to live.
Is there anything in South Dakota?
Isn't that where Mount Rushmore is?
Is it?
It's in one of the Dakotas. I can't remember.
That's what's separating the Dakotas.
I've been there twice. I don't remember which Dakota it was in.
I've been to Myrtle Beach, and I can't 100% remember if it was in South Carolina or North Carolina. So
I couldn't tell you either. So anyways, what's this movie about, Jake?
So this movie is about Germany. So yeah, it's like I said, it takes place in 1989 at the start.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy.
I mean, if we're being really honest, it starts in 1970 something, but
probably, but whatever.
No, it does. It says in the 1970s.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part. Yeah. Okay, so the main character is it Daniel Bruhl?
Yes.
Daniel. Okay. I'm going to say Frederick Zoller because that's going to be easier. The guy who played Frederick Zoller in Inglourious Bastards.
His name's Alex in this movie.
Yeah, I know. So Frederick Zoller, he's kind of recapping on his family growing up in East Berlin. It was him, his dad, his mom, and his sister.
Yep.
And kind of out of nowhere, the dad takes off and heads to West Berlin. West Germany?
Yeah, the West.
He heads westward.
Yeah.
And the mom shuts down. She tells her kids that Papa left because he's out with a Western whore, and then she shuts down. And then she overcompensates with all of her sadness by becoming super Soviet and super communist. Maybe not super Soviet, super communist. Yep. She's all about East Berlin. She's down to clown. So she gets really involved politically. The
Socialist Party.
Yes, to the Socialist Party. And that's just how their life is for, 5-10 years?
Yeah, something like that, because he's an adult by the time when he becomes...
Yeah,
when the character
how old
is
do you
now...
think he was when he was a little boy? Probably 10?
Something like that. So yeah, probably 10, 15 years afterwards.
Okay. So yeah, and then that goes on for 10 or 15 years, and then fucking Frederick Zoller goes out on a protest. What, right?
Yep.
It was a protest for unification.
Well, he said it was because people want the right to be able to walk around at night, get rid of curfews and things like that, and more, yeah. And it was also unification stuff.
I wasn't sure if they were protesting for the right to walk around. I wasn't sure if that was kind of a poetic device, to say we want the right to basically do whatever the fuck we want. So yeah. I didn't know if it just meant in general unification or literally to just be able to walk around.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's protesting that, and he also meets his girlfriend.
Yes.
So he's out protesting that, and Mother Dearest sees him and has a heart attack, and she collapses. She collapses?
Yes.
Okay. And she gets wished off to the hospital. Whisked?
Yes.
Wisped. She gets
Whisked.
washed away to the hospital.
She goes to the hospital.
I mean, she doesn't go there. She gets picked up and put in an ambulance.
Well, she physically goes, just mentally, not till later.
She's at the hospital. She spontaneously appears in a hospital bed.
Yes.
And
as far as she's aware.
And she goes into a coma because she had a severe heart attack. If that checks out. Doctors
sure
listening, let us know.
Bad.
And sorry, this is gross. So, my cold, I mean.
Do you need some water?
No, it's fine.
Do you want me to continue the recap for you?
No, I got it. I can do this.
All right.
It's just going to be slow. They might as well just watch the movie.
Yeah.
2 hours of me recapping the movie. In not that good of detail either. So she's at the hospital. She's in a coma. It lasts 8 months. During the meantime, Germany does get unified for the most part.
Yeah.
The wall comes down, and they get Burger King and Coca-Cola. Life's never been better. Which is weird because no, Burger King does sell Coca-Cola.
Yep.
That's right, because they do the Coke freezes. It just tastes better at McDonald's. I wonder why Germany didn't get McDonald's.
I'm sure Burger King was who sponsored the movie.
Hmm.
Or maybe they didn't get McDonald's. I actually don't know. I'll look.
Check on that, please. So, yeah, and actually things work out really good for everyone. It's pretty nice that the wall fell.
Yeah, McDonald's is in Germany.
Well, I knew it's in Germany now. I just meant, like, in the movie. You know what they put on French fries in Holland instead of ketchup?
What?
Mayonnaise. If anyone likes Quentin Tarantino, you may have gotten that.
The first McDonald's opened in Germany on December 4th, 1971. So it probably didn't get to East Germany until after Burger King did.
Well, right. Ask that question. East Berlin. When did East Berlin get MacDougal? Click, 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 click. Search. Use that Google, homeboy.
I'm working on it, man.
God damn it. Would you search the question?
I did.
The Google machine is running slow.
There is an LA Times article from July 31st, 1990 that popped up.
Oh, nice.
So, as of July 31st, 1990...
Is it a JPEG or is it converted into text?
This is an article.
Oh, nice.
From the LA Times.
I'm shocked.
You're using up one of my freebies. Anyways, you keep going. I'll keep looking.
Okay. Yeah, and everything's good and grand, and the sister starts working at Burger King. Pretty much everyone in the family gives up their socialist beliefs, if they had any in the first place, and they're enjoying the unification of the Germanys. But then Mommy Dearest wakes up, and she's in a sensitive state. The doctor informs them that if she flips out a little too much, she might go back to nighttime or die. And so what Frederick Zoller plans to do is he plans to keep Mom in a bedroom and make it East Berlinian there. He doesn't want her to find out that the wall went down because she was so committed to the Socialist Party. And it's just kind of about his struggle to keep the secret alive. Even though pretty much everyone else around him's like, we gotta fucking tell her.
Yeah. That's a decent recap.
Alright, cool.
I couldn't find...
to do the whole movies.
I couldn't find the information.
No?
No.
Right, you start talking, I'm gonna look it up.
So yeah, I'm not even sure exactly how I ended up finding out about this movie. I'm sure I just kind of like perused the selection of available German films in the lab, and there it was. See, you're finding like the same sort of articles I did, like the 1990s.
Sure,
it's like,
McDonald's up against the wall.
It's like, no, we don't want. They don't want to let McDonald's in. Cool. When was the first Burger King? Is the thing that I can't find.
I'm not looking for the first Burger King.
Well, I told you as of 1990 they didn't have McDonald's, and then I went to look for Burger King.
I thought you found the Burger King thing in the first place.
No, the thing I showed you was McDonald's. Anyways,
I guess I wasn't listening correctly.
Clearly.
Yeah, I'm not reading that.
Yeah. Oh, at the country store. As of July 31st, 1990, there was a Burger King, at least, because it said at the country's first Burger King. So that's why his sister worked at Burger King, not McDonald's. Okay. Makes sense. So
it is historically accurate.
Yes.
All right, just curious.
But what do you think of his friend who was also a film guy?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name now. Dennis?
Dieter?
Dennis Dusseldorf or something.
Yeah, something like I don't fucking remember. Why didn't we pull this up on You've got 1 million tabs. Why is none of them this on
A million.
IMDb?
I've got 5.
Yeah, here.
No, look, see, just one.
Goodbye, Lenin.
Saving Hitler. There we go. Katrin Saab.
No, Sas.
Is that how you pronounce that letter?
Yep, it's 2 S's together. It's why in the credits her name was Sass.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to her name.
Yeah, it's all right.
Mutter. Oh, Mutter. I was like, Mutter.
Dennis.
Florian Lucas.
He didn't
Dennis.
get a last name.
He does have a last name, though.
No, not in the credits he didn't.
I liked him, though.
Yeah.
I thought he was a funny guy, funny character.
So, I'm going to read you, and you may or may not have seen it when you saw this on Amazon Prime, but I'm going to read you the Amazon description that pulls up for this movie, and you tell me how accurate it sounds to you.
Okay.
Having literally just seen this movie. When his socialist mom comes out of a coma, Alex Kerner does everything he can to convince her that the Berlin Wall hasn't fallen, but the only thing he knows about the party is how to throw one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I read that at the beginning, and then I just forgot it when I was watching it.
And I'm like,
because I hadn't watched it yet, I was like, oh shit, maybe he's a party kid, I guess.
Yeah, see, that was also part of my concern when I saw that. I'm like, am I remembering this movie wrong? And that's not accurate at all.
Right. All he knows about a party is how to throw one. Who wrote that?
Not anybody involved who watched this movie, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I wonder if that's when this movie came to America. If they like
Just a mistranslation?
no, well, either
Say
that
he has a crazy time trying to do it, and they're like, oh, that must mean he had a party. So.
or somebody's like, well, if we tell American people what this is actually about, they probably won't watch it. So let's make them think he's a party guy to get him to go see this movie. Because he drinks a couple beers and like he goes to that club to literally leave the club and go sit somewhere else with that weird like underground techno.
Oh, yeah. Well, there
club.
was when he went and saw the
And then the-
titty
and then-
whipped cream show.
Yeah, and then he went to the porn shop and that was it. And that was for like 5 seconds of screen time.
I was also surprised at the audience in that porno shop, by the way, watching that film.
Yeah.
It was like 3 regular looking chicks and then a couple guys.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
You didn't have porn in
I know,
East
but
Germany,
like no one's
apparently.
like, and everyone's just like, oh, that's what's on TV now.
Yeah. Oh, I like Western TV.
It's just the fattest chick imaginable putting whipped cream on her boobs.
Yeah.
Not the fattest chick imaginable. I've seen 600 Pound Life. There's some big uns there.
Yeah.
Dude, do you watch the show?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
But yeah, so
Goodbye, Lenin.
Yeah, Goodbye Lenin. I'm not sure.
I liked the movie though. I
Yeah.
thought it was a really good, solid movie. It had kind of a style thing about it where they would like speed ramp certain things,
Yeah.
like when they're in motion and they're trying to hurry around and like do some kind of like part of his whole scam to like make his mom believe that she's in East Berlin still. They would speed ramp those moments, but it kind of really died off towards the end.
Yeah.
Like it happened in like the first maybe 2/3 of the movie. Then for the last third of it, they don't do it at all.
I think they did it one more time near the end when like, because I pretty distinctly remember him and Dennis coming like around a corner in the car. That was sped up.
That was when they were. That was when after she saw the Coca-Cola banner go down on that building from her bed.
Oh, that's right.
So that was like still before.
Which was a great moment.
Yeah. What is that? Why don't you guys sing another song? Mom, shut up! You're ruining everyone's good time.
But yeah, I think it's a really nice, heartfelt movie that like I also don't think could really have been made this way anywhere else, or at least with this sort of a setup for the story.
Yeah,
without making it fictitious.
I was thinking about a way you could do that, and the best way I thought
Completely fictitious.
would be like 9/11. Like it'd be like something like that kind of event.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you'd even do it.
Like how could you know how it would be real easy to pretend 9/11 didn't happen in someone's fucking bedroom. It's just because looking out their window, unless they lived in New York and had a fucking like eye line of the Twin Towers from their bedroom.
Right, but that's what you'd have to place the movie in
Yeah.
order to make it interesting.
And
so
then-
it would have to be like maybe it's like some military general who was like really against going to war, and his decision to go to war would have like really impacted the war in Iraq or something. So they didn't want to let him know that 9/11 happened, so he wouldn't think we got to go to war after they knocked our towers down. And having him not know, they actually went into Iraq instead of Saudi Arabia, where it actually came from. Now, wouldn't that be an interesting movie, John?
I don't think it would be quite as heartfelt, though.
No, it probably wouldn't.
No, at all. Like, you lose the whole, like, you know, he's trying to do right by his mom
Yeah.
thing.
No, for sure. Like I said, like you said, it wouldn't work anywhere else.
Yeah,
that's why
like,
I was like trying to think of like how an American version of this movie could be done.
It wouldn't.
Which will probably happen in like 10 years. They'll probably try and do it on Netflix because they like to do that.
Yeah, I guess.
They like to take foreign movie
like,
ideas and just make the American version of it.
I'm like, should Korea ever unify? You could do it in Korea. But then, like, the one point in U.S. history that I could think of, it would just not work. And that was Civil War.
Yeah.
Because, like, in this one, he's, like, getting kids to pretend like they're part of that group. And, like, because you have to do it from the side of the losers. So it'll be the Confederacy.
Right, but that'd be also
So
kind of funny
like,
that he has to convince, like, a black guy to still pretend like he's a slave. He's like, God damn it.
Well, no, but then my other thought is
Danny
like
Glover to do it, and he just says, "I'm too old for this shit," and then hilarity ensues.
Well, here's my thought though, too, is that immediately following the Civil War, people in the South still didn't like black people, amazingly enough. So I think whoever would do that would have no problem being like, you have to go do this.
Unless it's just a Southerner who not all Southerners hated black people. Some just lived there. Which is a weird thing to say. It sounds like, is that racist? It's not racist. They just happen to live in the South. So maybe it was like some Southern family who didn't have slaves, but necessarily didn't help not have slaves. So they're in the wrong, but...
It just wouldn't work in America.
Is compliance wrong, John?
Because have fun trying to tiptoe around that one in
it's already
Antebellum.
hard.
In the hypothetical.
But is Vietnam unified?
Yeah, Vietnam's unified.
Like, for sure, though? Like, they're not still kind of mad at each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Vietnam's good.
What are some other countries that maybe aren't? I mean, there's, like, Taiwan and China.
I don't think that one would work either. Seems how according to China, Taiwan is China, and according to Taiwan, Taiwan is Taiwan.
There you go.
Yeah, but here's the thing. In like this case, it's very clearly defined lines. We are East Berlin and East Germany. We are West Berlin and West Germany.
I suppose.
Which Berlin is not in the middle of Germany, by the way.
It's not?
No.
Oh.
I actually think Berlin was actually, if I'm not mistaken, is in the western half of Germany. So Berlin was in West Germany, but half of Berlin belonged to East Germany.
Huh. So I didn't realize that the whole... I know nothing about this time period, really. Realistically, I know Mr. Gorbachev teared down that wall, and that's about it. But I didn't realize that it was actually the whole country was split in half also. Yep. I thought it was just East-West Berlin.
Nope. East-West Germany.
Okay.
Yep.
Neat. Was it fully cut in half? Like,
pretty much.
Pretty decent split?
Yep.
Was it a jagged line, or was it
I mean, yeah, it was kind of... I mean, it wasn't perfect. But, and if I'm not mistaken... well, because in Berlin, the eastern half, Russia controlled after World War II, and the western half, the Allied powers controlled. The U.S., Britain, France controlled the western half of Berlin.
So why did Russia control it? Just because they...
Because they came in from the east, and they helped kick the shit out of them.
I kind of like this spot. Hold on to it?
Pretty much, and then they got half the country, too.
You know, there's a little bit about this in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. as well.
Neat.
It starts there anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Cold War era, you can do... You got East-West Germany. There was a lot of... Like, that was kind of like the dividing point between the East and the West in Europe. So...
Everything east of East Germany was Russian?
Was Soviet Union, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of it.
Huh. Well, I mean, there's a lot of countries east of Germany.
There's like, that's where a lot of, like, the Slovakian countries...
Well, isn't Greece Germany?
South.
Well, yeah, it's southeast.
I think it's just mostly
Is
south.
it directly south? Oh. I need a map in here.
Pull up a map. We can take a look right now.
Right.
And also the soccer match, I believe, was also true. That soccer match that kept popping
I
up.
imagine that would be true. I don't know why they would lie about it.
I don't know, man.
Oh, excuse me.
So yeah, see,
Yeah, Greece is all the way over here.
yeah, I think Greece was not a Soviet country though.
Berlin
so
is actually on the east side of Germany.
apologies.
East side.
Apologies, Germany. I was wrong.
So what, do you think the line like came
It was
through here?
well.
and then,
You can
like,
probably
back this
look
way?
up a map of East-West Germany too.
That's a good call. East-West Germany. Fuck. Alright.
So that's kind of what it looked like.
There we go.
So no, it was not perfectly down the middle.
And it really was, yeah, it wasn't even an even split.
No, but Russia got Berlin on their half, so. Oh, wait, no, that's life satisfaction in Germany. I don't know if that's necessarily East-West Germany.
I mean, it kind of would be.
Well, yeah, it looks like it was.
This is flu vaccination ratio.
All right.
So Berlin is like smack dab in the middle of East Germany, but part of it still belongs to West Germany?
Yep.
So the people part of West Berlin, though, they have to feel like fucking like a human in the middle of the ocean.
It's got to be like a
Surrounded by
Vatican.
sharks.
I'm imagining it's a Vatican City sort of scenario. But then, like, there was the time where, the Berlin airdrop, where Russia basically cut off all inroads to Berlin because they were trying to.
Snuff out
Yeah.
all the Westerners in there.
So the West fucking flew over West Berlin and airdropped supplies in for them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good on you, West Germany.
So, shit like that. That's why it was kind of a big deal when the country reunified.
Right.
Because, I mean, there was families that were split by the wall.
Yeah,
like,
I knew that.
And shit like that. There's actually one of my all-time favorite historical pictures is there's a picture of a soldier while the wall is still basically just barbed wire, like fucking 2 feet off the ground. There's a picture of a soldier jumping over it, like making the decisions like, I'm going to fucking flee the east into West Germany and just jumping over this little thing of wire. But it's, I don't know, I really like that picture.
Yeah. So wait, could you shoot someone from East Germany into West Germany?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically there was like 2 sets of walls and a no man's land right in between them.
Yeah, I knew that. There's like a minefield in there.
Yeah.
Because that...
And
that
sniper
nighttime.
towers.
Oh, I didn't know about the sniper towers.
Yeah,
They don't
there's-
show that.
oh,
It's
yeah.
nighttime when I see it.
Yeah, there's towers. They've got... They make sure nobody crosses
It's
that
pretty
wall.
well barricaded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, you got to keep them filthy immigrants out. But, but it doesn't necessarily count as out of their jurisdiction?
What?
You don't get Ali Oxenfreed if you make it over the edge?
I mean, if you can make it across, I mean... It was also the Soviet... this is where all like that spy drama shit comes from. I mean, they'll just send a spy to come kill you.
Yeah. Do you want to watch Man from U.N.C.L.E. for next week? Let's just
I mean, we were going to a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
We
let's just
didn't.
do it.
All
Because I just watched it on an airplane going to Alaska. I'm ready to watch it again. And also this movie kind of maybe like,
Yeah,
I could watch
I get
this
that.
again. The guy who played Goebbels from Inglourious Bastards is in it, by the way. Plays
nice.
a pretty big character.
Nice. But goodbye, Lenin.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Bye-bye, Lenin.
I mean, I don't know. I guess we don't have a whole lot to talk about specifically with this one, but still, like,
Well, also because I'm a historical doo-doo head. So Lenin, he's part of the statue that gets flown away by a helicopter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. He was the leader of the revolution in Russia.
So what about that guy, Hennecker? The guy who resigned?
I guess
his
he was
name
just some
started with
big...
an H?
I think he was just the chancellor of East Germany.
Oh, okay.
So,
And then Lenin was head of Russia.
not by that point. Lenin was dead.
Oh. So why was it goodbye Lenin? Just because...
Because Lenin is like... Well, Lenin, throughout the whole thing, was still like a very revered figure
Right,
in Soviet...
for the Socialist Party.
Like, that's kind of how... Stalin came to power. He's like, I am Lenin's successor. Like, Lenin taught me, and now I'm taking over now that Lenin is dead.
Who came in after Stalin? And Stalin was buddies with Hitler, right?
No.
No?
No. basically they had
I
an
know
agreement.
Stalin killed more people than Hitler, though.
They had an agreement that Hitler wasn't going to invade Russia.
Okay.
And then Hitler invaded Russia, and Stalin's like, all right, we'll just kill everybody, I guess. And just went off.
Okay. Yeah,
Stalin,
cool
Stalin, one of his only, I'm not sure which, sons was a German prisoner during World War II. And so Germany's like, oh, we've got Stalin's kid. So they're like, release these prisoners and we'll give you your son back. Stalin just wrote back, he's like, my son wouldn't get captured. You can keep him.
Shit. So his real son was actually captured?
Yeah. And I think died in a German prison.
Well, don't get captured. It's a song by Run the Jewels.
Stalin was an evil, evil bastard.
Yeah. Bill Burr actually had a bit about how Stalin put up bigger numbers than Hitler. Like, everyone says whenever there's a politician who's not cool, they're like, he's the new Hitler. Have you heard about what Stalin did? He said if Hitler's Hitler is who's gonna be in the new Space Jam? Please help me. LeBron James. If Hitler's LeBron James, then Stalin is Michael Jordan. I just thought that was funny. There's really no political comment about it. It's just funny to me. Because I know nothing about Stalin. Know a lot about Hitler.
Yeah.
I mean, an average amount about Hitler.
See, the reason, part of it was the fact that, and part of the reason the Holocaust, we're going to get really deep here for a moment, folks. Okay. The Holocaust was kind of sometimes seen as a more horrific one, is just the cold, machine-like efficiency with which it was, carried out. Thank you. Taken through was what I was thinking I was going to say, and that's not even, that's a weird...
That shit was done coldly.
It was like they kept meticulous details of everybody, numbers, shit like that. Stalin didn't, and it was just like Gulag up in Siberia, and then you just disappeared forever, no record of you ever existing, and so that's just what.
That's almost a little colder though too.
Physically colder, yes, but.
Well, yeah, the weather's colder.
Yes.
I meant don't even care who the fuck you are.
Well, I mean, he only did it to his political rivals, and people who said, "Hey, maybe
he's an equal opportunist, bad guy."
Yeah, basically, he mostly just did it to his own people. That's why people don't talk about it as much, because it was Russians doing it to Russians. But it's also why
the first people that Nazi Germany invaded was Germany.
No,
they said that in Captain America.
What? When?
The doctor says a lot of people forget that the first people that Nazis invaded was Germany. Because not everyone in Germany was
a Nazi. No, I suppose, but
I don't know. I thought that quote was good. I like that quote.
Yeah, no, Nazi Germany started in Germany.
Yeah, but the Nazis weren't all of Germany.
No, they weren't all of Germany.
They killed a lot of German Jews.
Yeah, they killed a lot of Germans, a lot of Polacks,
Polish people. Thank you for not using slurs.
Is that actually a slur?
Polak? Yes, it is.
Oh shit! I did not.
It's implied that
I did not. I legitimately did not
when you're
realize.
Referring to a Polish person being dumb, fucking Polak over there.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah,
and
Polak is a slur.
I will retract that statement. I've actually learned something today.
I bet you say gypped too, you piece of shit. Which is a slur to gypsies.
Yeah, I know.
And gypsies is actually a slur also.
Of Romany people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
I wouldn't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I learned one today. All right.
Jesus.
I apologize for using offensive language.
Thank you.
Polish Jews and Polish non-Jews.
Can you please say Polish people of Hebrew descent?
No. Okay. Because Jews is Jewish people
Well, it's like that Louis bit. I mean, Jew is both the proper term to use, and with a little stank on it, it becomes a slur. It's like, oh yeah, that guy, he's a Jew. That guy's a Jew. See? It's different.
Yeah.
You just gotta watch your tone, John.
Half my family is Jewish.
Yeah, and I'm looking out for that half. I don't know if you are anymore.
Yeah, I am, actually. Anyways, goodbye, Lenin.
Yep, goodbye, Lenin. See you later. Hasta luego.
Yes, that got
adieu. No, that's French. What's goodbye in German?
Auf Wiedersehen.
Oh, thank you.
Or, if you're getting off the phone, Auf Wiederhören, which means until I hear you again. because sehen means to see.
So do you think blind people say that?
I don't know.
Do you think blind Germans say auf Wiederhören?
Hören. No, that was the inflection was wrong there, but still, maybe.
I'd like to know.
I mean,
how literally did the German people take it?
Oh, Germans are very literal with their wording.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean, if they have
shit is spelled out for you in what they fucking say.
Yeah.
But you just have to speak German to understand.
I'm thinking when I get off the phone, I'll still say "see you later." I wouldn't say "hear you later."
Yeah, I know, but
maybe "talk to you later."
I mean, this is what I was told by my fucking freshman German teacher in college. So
he or
she was not a native born speaker, but she's fluent. I mean, she's fluent, but I don't know if that's like
she's
something
a
in like a
capitalist pig.
I don't know if that's something in like regular, like vernacular is how it goes, or if that's just like a way you can say it. But yeah, as Christoph Waltz explains in Django Unchained, Auf Wiedersehen means until I see you again.
But since I do not wish to see you again, goodbye.
Goodbye,
Lenin.
You could use tschüss.
Tschüss?
Tschüss. TSCHU with an umlaut. SS. It means goodbye. It just means goodbye.
That's a fucking nightmare to spell for such a small little word.
It's not a nightmare. I was just trying to remember how to fucking spell it.
I know, but it's got like 6 letters and 1 syllable.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Also German.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Germany?
Not yet. I want to eventually, but I have not. I'd like to go to Berlin. I would like to visit Auschwitz.
Any of the other depressing places in Germany you want to go to, John?
Okay, Berlin is not immediately depressing.
I know, but Auschwitz is.
Auschwitz is, yeah, I know. But
wait, Warsaw, that's in Poland.
That's in Poland.
Are there what are the other ones that are in Germany?
I don't know where they were located. I know there's Dachau.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the Family Guy joke.
Yeah, Holocaust joke.
It's a
Great.
bit of a dark joke. Yeah, that's really hilarious.
Oh, see, I was thinking of the one where they were talking to the cow.
Yeah. Where he says, we spell it more C-O-W, like cow. Yeah, that's a Holocaust joke.
That's great.
That's really hilarious.
There's Buchenwald.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah. Those are the only ones I know off the top. Those are the kind of famous ones. But I don't remember where 2 of them are located.
You don't remember any of the mom and pop internment camps that they had?
Jesus Christ.
If it made you laugh, you can't get mad.
Yeah, you can. Anyways. So, yeah, I want to go to Berlin. I'd like to go to... I'd like to go around Germany. Like
Germany, more specifically, out of all the countries in Europe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kate went on a cruise through Europe, and they went to Germany, but it was weird. So, like, they only had, like, I think maybe 6 hours in Germany. And to go to Berlin, you had to, like, hop on a train, which took, like, an hour and a half. So, by the time the trip there and back, you only had, like, an hour or 2 anyway to spend in Berlin, so they didn't end up going. Some people did. I think some people got left behind also. That happened in Russia. They left people behind in Russia because they didn't make it back to the boat in time. Like, sorry.
Deuces.
Yeah, they took off. They said Dusseldorf to that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Which means nothing. That's a city in Germany, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hamburg. I'd like to go to.
I think maybe they did go to Hamburg. Because Kate brought me back a beer stein from Germany.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Where did I put it? But yeah.
Like to have some proper German beer from Germany. Auf Deutschland.
I don't know if Kate had a beer in Germany. She had she had Guinness in Ireland. She said that was good.
I got Guinness from Ireland, and I've never been there, so.
Well, technically, all Guinness is
not the stuff from here. I got stuff from like the brewery.
Yeah.
Straight from the brewery.
Yeah, but she's
not the shit.
Everyone says that it stops being as good once it makes the journey across the pond.
It was fine when I had it. It tasted better than Guinness on this side. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. But Goodbye Lenin.
Yeah.
Good movie. What'd you think of the kind of a twist at the end? Spoiler alert.
Where he kind of becomes what he was trying to do for his mom.
That and how, like, the truth behind their dad.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of wondering if, like... So she kind of had the mental breakdown at the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
And then she overcorrects herself by becoming super socialist. So I was wondering if actually the heart, like, if she would have ever felt that way without the heart attack that she had had, you know?
What do you mean?
Like, if she would ever, like, maybe having the heart attack, she kind of forgot part of... Because she had amnesia afterwards, you know? She wasn't fully the same person afterwards.
Yeah.
So I wonder if she had never had the heart attack, if she would come to that realization that she actually misses Robert and
Yeah, I think she would have.
regrets not going with him, or if because of the heart attack and everything, it kind of jogged something in her like mind that made her feel regretful that she had done that.
Well, part of it, too, part of the overcorrection was her husband fled to the West.
Yeah.
And that, so now she has to be like, I don't agree with, like...
Because she was worried her kids would get taken away.
Yeah, so she had to overcorrect, basically. And
but she did it for like 10 years. I
Yeah.
mean, she could have like been pretty stringent at first and then kind of let it, you know, simmer off.
Well, I mean, she found satisfaction in what she was doing.
Yeah.
But, you know, as time went by, so it was something, and it became her life, too. But I feel like when the wall fell, if she hadn't gone unconscious when that had happened, I feel like she would have gone to try and find him.
Yeah.
To reconnect.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what you see at the end. Not necessarily that she was upset. She seemed upset when she first found out, but after Alex shows her the final tape, she realizes that he did it out of love, and she would have been actually embraced the change that happened when the wall fell.
Yeah, she took it to the grave because she Alex's girlfriend tells her.
Right. And Alex does not realize. By the way.
Alex never knows.
Yeah. I was surprised that they never let him know.
I feel like they probably told him after she had passed, but at the same time,
I think the movie implies that he just doesn't know.
I think it.
Because it kind of leaves him in the same sort of world of limbo that his mom was in.
Yeah, and I feel like
it's easier for him to not know.
Yeah, and it also became part of who he was because you could tell the whole time like how much he cared about his mom. Like, and you see the picture afterwards where he's looking at her instead of the camera, and just like how important his mom was in his life.
Well, you could even see that when she went bonkers the first time because he was
not
that he was the only one trying to fix it, but it showed
as the
him,
protagonist.
It showed him instead of his sister, you know, like going to her and always talking to her when she wouldn't speak and was basically catatonic. Yeah,
so for him, like, his whole life has kind of been like, it's been important to him to make sure
mom's okay.
Mom's okay, that mom knows he cares about her, and things like that. So, like, and almost with that final video, like, that was like, she saw just how much, like, that, I felt like that one act was like it showed her just how much he cared about her and wanted her to be happy, even though, like, you know, nobody knew how much time she had left. Right.
And for anyone curious what we're talking about, so the mom started wanting to watch TV while she was being told that this is all East Berlin. So what Frederick Zoller had to do was he had to make up newscasts and he had to use old recorded TV shows and stuff to make it seem like everything was still East Berlin. However, once mom had snuck out a couple of times because she was getting better, they had to explain all the capitalist shit that was appearing in Germany.
Yep.
So, like, at one point, it was, so we mentioned earlier a Coca-Cola banner came down on a building that was part of her view from her bedroom window. So she just saw it one day. She's like, what the fuck is this?
On her birthday.
They had to make a newscast saying how East Germany realized that the West, just Western everything, had basically been lying and saying Coca-Cola was their product, but it was actually originally invented in East Germany in 1970 something.
Yeah,
or 1953, I think.
Yeah.
So
and then she's like,
"Oh, I thought it was around longer than that." No, Mom, can't you see they were lying? Coca-Cola was ours.
Which is one of my favorite lines too. When she's like, "I thought it had been around since before the war."
They've been lying to us for years. But then at the very end, when she actually sneaks out of the building, she sees like all these different types of cars that are out. That was when it was about Western refugees.
Yeah.
So why did he have to explain why the wall went down?
No, so he didn't. He got to that later. That was going to be like his
because
explanations. Like
Dad
this
was
is
able to get here.
Well, and this is like his. This is the truth. Like the wall has fallen. Like instead of telling her the actual truth. Mm-hmm. But no, the one when she went outside, and like there were some of the people who were moving in. First off, as you kind of saw at the beginning and how they had to dress later, it's like a very more conformist, like, this is how you dress.
And also very conservative, too.
Yeah. So when the new tenants were moving in, and they were from a city in the West. Mm-hmm. Like, they were moving in from West Germany.
Yeah, they're setting up, like, leopard print furniture and a pink fuzzy lamp.
Yeah.
Very non-communist looking stuff.
Yes. So they explain. His friend Dennis makes a video where they explain that the West is
Germany,
basically falling, and so people are trying to flee into East Germany.
So they're refugees.
Yes.
And yes, that's right. And then so they go to their cabin that they haven't been to in a very long time, because the mom decides she wants to help all these Western refugees, so she wants to fix up the cabin and make it a nice place that can, harbor refugees. Yeah. And while she's there, though, she gets a bunch of memories and she starts reminiscing a little bit. And she says to her kids that their father actually had tried to contact them, and she told the truth about that he didn't leave them for a woman in the West. He was never really part of the Socialist Party, so he just went to the West because he was going to get scrutinized being in East Berlin.
Yep.
And the family was supposed to go with him. However, she couldn't, because if they would have waited around for visas to get over there, someone would have taken her kids away from her.
Yep.
And that's actually why she became super socialist. And then she said, "Oh, I just really wish I could see my ex-husband again." So, Frederick Zoller goes off and tracks down Dad, lets him know, "Hey, I'm your son," and he brings her back to visit Mom. While he's off doing that, his girlfriend tells Mom that everything's a lie, and never lets Frederick Zoller know. So they reunite the ex-husband and the mom, and they just kind of talk it out, I guess. You really don't see anything that happens between them.
We don't know anything that happens between them other than like the first look they have together.
Right. Because Mom was about to flip out because she was told right as they were coming in. So she was about to flip out until she saw her ex-husband, and then she settled back down a little bit.
Yeah. And it's important to know too that she knows at this point it's fake.
Yeah.
Alex does not know she knows it's fake and has told his dad, it's like, this is what you have to tell her. Uh-huh. You can't tell her about the wall falling. You can't tell her
you have
this,
to
this, and
keep
this.
up the charade.
Yes. So that's also part of why it's important that we don't know what they talk about.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, why? Why is that important that we don't know? I mean, we already know she knows.
Yeah, we know
so
she knows, but it's
if we know that he knows that she knows.
No, I feel like it. Well, it's important. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily important. I guess what specifically they would talk about is irrelevant to Alex and his experience.
I guess
as a protagonist. So we never find out what is said between them.
Mm-hmm. But then so Alex decides that she needs to know that the wall is down, but he decides to make a tape of his version of the wall going down.
Yes.
And what it is he has the actual guy resign like it actually happened in real life, but he hands the keys over to a cosmonaut that
his childhood hero.
But it was kind of East Germany's childhood hero. Yeah. Like it was like this huge idol who had become nothing after the wall went down. He became a taxi driver. Yeah. But he actually found him, and made it look like he was the new prime minister of East Germany, or Germany.
Yeah.
And he said, like, socialism is about, opening up to your neighbors, so I'm taking down the borders.
Yeah.
It was actually a really good speech.
Yeah, and how, like, 'cause as a cosmonaut, like, it's like up in space, all the problems we have on Earth seem tiny.
Right.
And insignificant.
And so, yeah. And, the mom already does know that it was all fake anyway. She knows that Alex has been lying. She knows that this whole tape isn't real either.
Yeah.
But she plays along with it because, one, she knows how hard Alex has worked to just keep her alive, and he did it out of love, not out of deceit. He was not a duplicitous taint. And so she just lets him believe that she believes. It's like Santa Claus.
Yeah. So it's
kind of her last motherly thing that she does.
Because she dies that night, correct? Or a day later?
Something right afterwards.
Yeah.
They don't really say she dies soon.
But then, yeah.
And then he shoots her into space with a model rocket.
Yes, because
her ashes, not her body.
Yeah. Because for him, I mean, again, with the whole cosmonaut being his childhood hero, so like he thinks a lot of times kind of in those poetic, like, terms that we think with, like, space and, like, being up with the stars and looking down on us and things like that. That's how he thinks, and a lot of the monologue throughout a lot of it is.
Right.
And so, like, that's his, like, last gift to his mother is to, like...
Well, she also wanted her ashes to be spread around, which was illegal to do in Germany, east or west.
Yeah.
So I do kind of like the efficiency of just shooting them up in, like, 100 feet in the air and be like, well, I'll get them around.
Yeah.
It works a lot better than the Big Lebowski version of spreading his ashes.
Yeah.
Where he could have just sprayed them all over Ariane, his sister. Or Ariane. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I mean, Aryan would make more sense than being in Germany, eh? Huh?
No.
But it's... But yeah, I mean, it was a really good movie. Like I said, they had like a couple of stylized elements where they would like speed ramp it like they did.
Yep.
But it kind of died off, so it kind of didn't feel as well integrated to the movie as it could have been,
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't really know if the movie necessarily has a overall feel to it, other than it's just a good story.
Yeah,
like, I enjoy the story, but I don't know if it has like, if it's got like a real style to it or anything,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe there's nuance in the context of it being a German film. Like maybe to German native people, they're like, wow, like it's like a Quentin Tarantino movie to them. It has all sorts of style that I don't pick up on. But,
yeah.
So I could only really look at the visuals because I don't get the nuance of the German language.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I'm sure that's something that would help too, is actually speaking German. Because, I mean, we trust what the subtitles say and it gets us through the movie, but,
right.
I think you do lose some of that, like...
It's still just an interpretation.
Yeah, it's more of a literal interpretation where it's like, here are the actual words that they're saying versus like, and I don't have an example for it, but it's like maybe a way he says something or a way that somebody says or puts a word in somewhere.
Yeah, go watch a Kung Fu movie and you'll understand what we're saying. Because some of those are oftentimes taken too literal.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit. So, what was it? I was watching, jeez, my nose is running. I was watching Enter the 36 Chambers.
Okay.
No, that's the album. The 36th Chamber of Shaolin. Who actually, the main character that is Gordon Liu, who played, hold on one second.
I don't remember what we were talking about before you paused it there.
Shit.
We were talking about the style. We were talking. Oh, Kung Fu movie. You were watching.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I was watching the 36th Chamber of Shaolin, and their voice acting in that is kind of weird, and you don't necessarily understand what they're saying because I feel like it's being translated too literally. So I switched on the subtitles, And even the subtitles to that were also kind of weird. So there was like a weird balance where I had to listen to what they were saying and then compare it to the subtitle and kind of get it figured out that way.
Yeah.
Because they weren't this, like, it didn't like have the subtitles to the English audio. It was the subtitles, English subtitles for the actual like Chinese language or Mandarin, I guess.
And while you were watching the English dub,
yes,
that would throw me off. Holy shit!
Yeah, so it was a little, but I still like the movie. But that's just my point: is that like
you miss some of those
the
subtleties.
dub is an interpretation of the original, and so is the subtitles. They're just another interpretation of the original. So
yes. Knowing
you're never getting like the actual experience of if you are fluent in the language and can understand what they're saying in their native tongue
and the subtleties of the wording.
Right. That was all I was trying to say.
Yes. But no, I mean, this is a good movie. This is one that's, I don't know, not one that can be rewatched constantly. I feel like I don't necessarily think
so at all. I mean, you just rewatched it a bunch of times because you had nothing to do in German class.
it wasn't in class. This was out of class work that you had to do and had to have been signed into the lab X number of hours. And I'm like, I'm just gonna watch fucking movies instead of doing anything potentially productive. Also, I had a mythology class in
German
college.
mythology?
Nope, just it was mostly focused on Greek and Roman mythology.
Right.
But I actually just got Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology book when I was in Chicago a couple weekends ago. I'm really enjoying it. It's just Neil Gaiman writing out the fucking Norse myths, but I'm finding it interesting. But anyways, I took a mythology class, and the department it was in, or the class, you got the letters and the number.
Yeah.
I think it was FLCL 20 something.
Coolly.
Well, FL means foreign language, and CL was classical. So it was like Latin and Greek classical language. So I had to have fucking foreign language lab hours for my fucking mythology class. We didn't learn Latin or Greek in this class. We just had to spend some time down in the fucking language center.
Oh, that's weird.
Because it was technically in the foreign language department.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
It was really weird, but it was a fun class.
That's funny, though, because FLCL is an anime, and it means Fooly Cooly.
Huh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a weird anime.
They can be.
Yeah. It's very weird, though. I remember watching it, when I was back in Michigan. So when I was, young, I was maybe 8.
Okay.
And just, not getting it at all. And then I watched it again, maybe 6 months ago, and I was like, this is still just as confusing.
Still don't know what the hell's going on.
If you're going to watch this, you have to just, let go of any,
Yeah.
idea of how people are supposed to act with each other.
That's fair. Man, I have not watched an anime all the way through in a while. Well, I watch because I've only seen the first season of One Punch Man. I've seen the first season of Mob Psycho 100.
I didn't finish that.
See, I liked it. It was.
I liked it too. We just switched our cable thing, so we didn't have a DVR anymore, and I was recording them. And
I love in Mob Psycho 100 the guy he works that Mob works for.
The redhead dude.
Yeah, the guy who's the fake psychic.
You see that there's a live action Mob Psycho?
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but but then I literally was 6 episodes away from completing Death Note, and I just never did.
I was like that with the original Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
You know what? And the same with Brotherhood, because Netflix didn't have the last 6 episodes for some dumb fucking reason.
Weird.
So then I started watching it on, what was it called? kissanime.net, just free streaming on the internet. And for whatever reason, I didn't finish it there either.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I was watching Death Note on fucking Netflix. The last 6 episodes were there. Just didn't.
I think the last anime... Well, so... I prefer to still watch the dub just because, if I'm watching the dub on Toonami and I'm really into it, and I don't want to wait anymore, I will sometimes go watch the sub on Netflix if it's there,
Yeah.
But for the most part, I like watching the dub.
Yeah, I've got no problem with the dub. Though
The
Nick
people
was
who have problems with the dub is when they watch the sub first and then they switch to the dub. They're like, what is this?
Yeah. Well, fucking Nick doesn't care about anime.
Not that much, but he liked One
He
Punch.
he liked One Punch Man enough to not wait for the dub, and he's like, I just got to watch this now, and he watched it all in Japanese with subtitles. Mm-hmm. So good for you, Nick.
Yep. Laudicina, though, however, just hates the Japanese people.
That racist.
He wouldn't even watch Kill Bill. He's like, no, I'm good. It's like, okay.
Wait, for real?
Actually, he didn't want to watch Kill Bill.
Did somebody make him watch Kill Bill yet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, we're going to have to get Laudicina on here
And you know
and
why he
relate to
didn't?
the show for Kill Bill.
And, you know, a part of it was also because it has that section that is anime for, what's her nuts
Oren?
story? Yeah, thank you, Oren Ishii.
Yeah.
Her backstory is done in animation.
And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. I don't know. Kid's a prick. Don't know what to say.
Yeah, he has to... Laud, if you're listening to this, we're going to make you fucking watch Kill Bill for this fucking podcast. You don't have to watch Volume 2. That's fine. Definitely got to watch Volume 1.
I mean, we'll just let everyone know what a racist he is until he does.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Does that work?
Yeah, it works for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Nick Laudicina is a big old racist, everyone.
Yes. You could be like, hey, could I get a recommendation for a Chinese restaurant? And you could be like, I hate the whole Asian world.
Oh, yeah, I killed like 4 of them.
Now you're
Are
in
you a serial killer? Yeah.
Now you're in an awkward conversation with a serial killer.
I just put that special on recently, up to that bit, and I'm like, all right. And I turned it off.
Nice.
That's Tom Segura's Completely Normal. Go watch it if you hadn't, or listen to it. It's on Spotify.
Yeah.
I fucking love Tom Segura. He's recording his new special in November.
Nice.
So then it should be out by May, maybe. Or April. That'd be cool if it released on his birthday.
Maybe. I
know.
want
I still gotta watch Bill Burr's special. It just came out.
I want to see Patton Oswalt do a new special. Damn it.
Uh,
Or John Mulaney. I'll take either one.
yeah, I have no idea if they've been, like, touring or not. I'm sure they have been.
Probably.
Well, Patton... Okay, his show got canceled, didn't it? That AP Bio?
Yeah, I thought it got picked up by somebody, though.
Oh, really?
I think.
Yahoo, probably.
Apple TV. Great. Now nobody will definitely watch it. AP Bio. Season 3.
Oh, it had 2 seasons?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Series revived for new streaming service. Oh.
Disney Plus?
No. Fucking NBC's got their own goddamn streaming service coming
I forgot
now.
I heard about that.
Called Peacock. But yeah. So fucking get in Parks and Rec while you can before they take it off on Netflix.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, fucking watch it. Parks and Rec is great. Yeah, it looks like...
Did you hear about the kid from SNL who got hired and then, like...
fired within the week, yeah.
Did you read anything about it?
Yeah, from what I understood, the quote-unquote jokes weren't actually funny and just seemed to be more actually racist rants.
Did you read any of the tweets?
No, I didn't. Every time I saw it ever pop up, I was either at work or, like, laying in bed about to go to sleep, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this right now.
I tried to find the tweets and I couldn't.
From what I understand, it was on his podcast.
Yeah, oh, yeah, they weren't even tweets. Yeah, it was just like... And then he called friends of his gay slurs. So he must have called his buddy, like, a faggot or something.
Yeah, those don't do that.
Well, yeah, but he also did it a year ago.
Yeah, but still, a year ago is recent enough.
Recent enough to get fired immediately from his job on a podcast that probably no one listens to. I hadn't even heard of this kid until I heard he got fired. This
I
is
hadn't
more
heard of
publicity for him than being on SNL, probably.
Honestly, probably. But also, I mean, it makes sense that SNL would do that, considering...
Not really. Them being a comedy network. Or a comedy show.
Yeah, they are also a very left-leaning show, and they also need to protect their image.
Yeah, most comedians are left-leaning. Left-leaning also.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But, so, no, it makes sense that SNL did what it did.
I guess.
So, anyways.
Even though they didn't even, like, in any of the stories, didn't actually document or cite any of the things. They just said, oh, he said these things.
It's on his podcast.
Yeah, but they
you
didn't,
can
like,
listen to.
They didn't put any sound bites up or anything, or they didn't, like, put in quotes. He was quoted as saying this, this, and that.
You could say made racist remarks on his podcast, and if you're
And
curious
then you
enough,
just have to assume, oh, he made racist remarks. They
if you're
didn't actually
curious
play 'em
enough,
out for people to
okay, but
check
if you're
out.
curious enough to check it out, you'll go to his fucking podcast and listen to it.
I know, but the problem is no one's going to.
I've seen fucking clips of it on Twitter.
What?
Yeah, I've seen
His podcast or just the clips about the story?
of his podcast, which
Really?
again I haven't listened to because every time I see it, I'm at work or about to go to bed.
Okay, you should like put my name in one of the replies for it then when you see it, because I haven't seen it yet.
Alright.
Because I read like 2 or 3 articles about it, and all I heard was that, well, one, Jim Norton was defending him, and then Rob Schneider also. When Rob Schneider, I'd take with a grain of salt a little bit. I'm like, Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider's an anti-vaxxer, so
Is he?
yeah. Or if he's not 100% anti-vax, he's one of those, let's just spread the vaccines out a little bit type of people. It's like, no, just fucking do them all at once like you're supposed to.
Well, not all in the same
Well,
day.
yeah. I remember,
Jim Jeffries has a bit about that.
yeah, like you've seen like that picture of like the doll with all the, like, these are the number of shots your baby... Yeah, was that? I think that was Jim Jeffries, because then he's like, if I had to get all those shots at once, I'd be fucking terrified. I think that was...
No, it's not him. He
Oh,
talks
no,
about
never mind.
taking
It
his
was-
son in to get him.
Sorry, it was a British-sounding person. It was John Oliver on his show.
Jim Jeffries is Australian.
Okay, but it's still like a mutation of the fucking British accent, all right?
You saying Australian people are mutated Britons?
No, I'm saying the Australian accent is a mutated British accent.
You piece of shit.
Anyways.
You anti-Aus piece of shit.
Yeah, no, it was John Oliver. He's like, yeah, if I had to get all those shots like that, I'd be fucking terrified. Because, like, it's just like a baby that's, like, looks like a fucking pincushion covered in... It's like a doll baby. It's not like a photoshopped baby with it. It's like a baby doll that they just, like, have a million fucking needles in. It's like, these are all the vaccines your child gets by the time it's 6 months old or some shit like that.
That can't be right.
I mean, it's probably not, but it's like...
They probably, like, there's, like, pill forms of some of those shots that they typically give to kids, and they're like, let's make it the needle so the picture looks more scary.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the point, is the picture's supposed to look scary.
Right.
But I think we've gotten way off topic from Goodbye Lenin at this point. I don't remember the anti-vax message part of...
It's all propaganda, John. We're just talking about the same shit.
That's what the Spreewald pickles were. It was a metaphor for vaccines. And how realistically you should be. Because once the mother got them, she died.
No, that's just when she went outside and saw Lenin.
And then shortly after, she died.
Well, you could also say the mom had her first heart attack, and shortly after
That's
she died.
okay,
'cause
thanks.
It was an hour
Okay,
and a
I'm
half
sorry.
later.
I'm sorry. I guess the joke didn't land. Fuck you.
You know what, John? It didn't. But that's okay. Maybe if someone at home laughed.
That's all that'll matter. So next week...
Are you laughing?
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't know. You got anything else to say about Goodbye Lenin?
I don't think so. We cleared an hour.
Nice.
I was
Go
kind of
team.
glad because when I watched the movie, I wasn't sure how long the podcast would be because I enjoyed the movie, but I didn't know how much there was to talk about with it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I just kind of like this movie. But plenty enough. Mostly just me recapping slowly.
Yeah, there you go. Dealing with that cold.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry I sound disgusting to people.
So, but so next week,
The man
Man from Uncle.
From Uncle.
The Man from Ant. Is that going to be the sequel?
Ant-Man. We're going to watch Ant-Man next week.
I'm okay with that.
Has anyone seen Ant-Man? No?
Are there? I was actually thinking this the other day. Are there any MCU movies you have not seen?
No, I did see them all before I saw Endgame.
Okay.
Because Ant-Man and the Wasp was one I was waiting on that I hadn't seen. Mm-hmm. And Captain Marvel, actually. I was able to see that before
Nice.
it went out.
Cool.
I only saw it, maybe a week before Endgame came out.
Yeah.
And then I saw Ant-Man and Wasp after Endgame had come out. So, it came out on a Friday. I saw Ant-Man and Wasp on Sunday. And then went and saw Endgame on the next Wednesday.
Nice. That Friday, I was there for Endgame.
Yeah, I know. That was another thing.
And then I went 2 more times.
And thought about going a third time 3
Fourth
weeks
time.
ago. Oh, fourth time, yeah, thank you.
But I've seen it 4 times by now, but...
Well, yes. Anyway, but, so last night I went and saw the premiere of the new Rob Zombie movie.
Yep.
3 from Hell. And, that was one I was kind of worried about. I'm like, fuck, it's going to be all Rob Zombie fans because it's only 3 nights here. So there's going to be applauding and cheering, which I fucking hate in a movie theater because no one's there to hear you.
Okay, I get that at the end of a movie most of the time, but...
It happened at the beginning, and I was kind of like, all right, I'll let this one slide. I hate it at the end, though, too.
I usually don't get it at the end, but continue. I don't want to interrupt your story. I apologize.
Well, at the beginning, I tolerate it because it's like they're just excited. They're getting it out, like, woo! Get it out before the movie starts. That's cool. And then, so I had an empty spot next to me, and there was a guy sitting just next to that spot. And, fucking asshole is just making comments to himself, not even to his friend who's sitting next to him. Like, he's not leaning over and whispering to this guy.
Which at least is...
Like,
I'll
whisper something to Kate, like...
Yeah, but keep it as quiet as you can. If you have to make a comment, keep it quiet.
Right. And at certain parts where the whole audience laughs, I see him going, and he's like looking behind him and like over to me, like to make sure I'm laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he's making comments about the movie. Like, there's one point where Sherry Moon Zombie's character is like, she pulls a knife out on some guy, and he goes, she'll straighten him out. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about, dude? I don't need you to say that. I'm about to watch it happen.
Here's the thing. That's the worst shit. Like, I get you don't like when people applaud in the middle of the movie or cheer in the middle of the movie. I loved it in Endgame because I felt like that. If it worked for me for Endgame, that was fine. But there was my 2 most egregious ones, but the most recent one was when I saw Logan. At the beginning, like some dudes are like fucking with his limo or whatever that he drives now.
Yeah.
And so he's like fighting them off or whatever. And like I think he pops his claws out, and this fucking guy, like 1 seat up and 1 to the right of me, is just like, oh right, yeah, and it's like freaking out.
Jordan's
I'm like,
dad in the theater with you because his dad's like that.
Maybe. And I'm like, fucking Christ, this guy's gonna do this the whole goddamn movie, and he kind of did.
Jordan's dad gets so hyped on action scenes in a movie. We went and saw Dawn of Justice.
Okay.
It was for Jordan's birthday, so it was me, Laud, Jordan, his dad, his brother, and another friend.
Okay.
So we all went, and then like at the scene where Batman is fucking people up in the warehouse to save Martha.
The one of the best scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah, it is a great scene, but I think it was the part.
I like Dawn of Justice, but you know I
like the extended edition.
Yeah, the director's cut was way better.
But so like I think it's the part where Batman like puts the guy on the crate and then like snaps his head backwards.
Yes.
So at that part, Jordan's dad goes, "Wow!" It's like, oh my god, shut the fuck up. It's like, oh no. But me and Laud are kind of laughing. Like with Jordan's dad, it kind of makes me laugh because he's like that with every movie.
All right.
It's like he's just enthusiastic.
He's having fun.
But Laud told me he was like that too with Star Trek Into Darkness when Spock is fighting Khan. He went, whoa! When he like broke his arm. It's because his dad's a fighter, so he's into the hand-to-hand combat.
Did you go see any John Wick movies with Jordan Reeder and his dad?
No. In fact, I've not seen a single John Wick movie in theaters. I see them on DVD.
I was going to say, you haven't seen any of them?
I've seen 1 and 2. I haven't seen 3 yet.
We should see 3.
Some guy said that he said 3 was way better than 2, and he was kind of tied between 1 and 3.
See, apparently people don't like 2 as much. I love 2. 2's still my favorite one.
Yeah. How many times have you seen it?
I've seen 2 the most. I saw that twice in theaters, and I think 3 times total.
I've seen 1 like 5 times, and then 2 once.
Yeah, see, I've seen 1 once, 2 3 times, and 3 once.
Okay.
But I mean, though at the same time, those movies are mostly just memorable for the action scenes. Like, there's some interesting world building going on, but like,
well, that's what I like the first one about so much is the world building that they do into it, and then the second one becomes too conscious of itself, of the success of the first one. That's my problem with it.
You might not like the third one then for world building.
That's why I didn't go see it in theaters.
Yeah, if you don't like where the world building's going, just enjoy the action scenes because they're
it's
still
just
fucking
building
awesome.
up more and more. And now all these outsiders want to be a part of the John Wick franchise. I think Halle Berry's in the third one, right?
Yes, she is.
I don't give a fuck about Halle Berry.
Fucking Jason Mantzoukas is in it.
Oh, the guy from How Did This Get Made?
Yeah.
Is he the curly-haired one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because it's Paul Scheer and then a lady.
Yeah. In the it's June Diane Raphael. But in the fucking posters, like he's got like a poster and he's got a character poster. He fucking shows up twice in the entire movie.
But he made it on the poster?
Yeah, well, not in like the official I think he actually might be in the official poster, but he literally shows up twice in the movie.
In Parabellum.
Yes.
Lady Antebellum, Lady Parabellum.
Let's see. My other obnoxious person in a movie theater one though was fucking Inglourious Bastards. Probably the second time I saw that one in theater. I think
some guy say, "What is he saying?"
No, actually, I think it was the first time. I saw that movie 3 times in theaters. That was like the
saw
first
it for Nick's birthday.
Yeah,
all together.
Yep. This was the time I saw it with Nick and Dad, because then I also saw it with my friends Nick Grant and Nate Butts.
Well, I don't think when we went for his birthday it was the second time he had seen it. So
yeah, I'm not sure. But I know it had to have been because me, Nick, and Dad definitely saw it before his birthday, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The chronology doesn't actually matter for that.
Sorry.
What does matter is 2 seats down was this woman who every time there was the slightest amount of violence, like she was like physically uncomfortable every time it ever happened. It's like, why are you at a Tarantino movie? The worst, of course, was the scene when he sticks his finger in the bullet hole.
Oh, I was thinking when he hits the Nazi soldier in the head with the bat.
It happens then too, but the worst one was when you get the close-up of his finger going into the bullet wound. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. You're at a Quentin Tarantino movie. There's going to be excessive amounts of violence.
Yeah, but don't you kind of wish you would have been there for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with her? Just hear how she reacted to the end of that fucking movie.
It would have been something, all right.
In fact, is there any violence in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood until the end?
Other than like the movie violence of the show that he's on? No. None at all.
He throws the girl down, and I think that's it.
Throws the girl.
Like he has the girl in his lap and he throws her down.
As part of the show.
Right,
yeah. So that's like the most amount of violence up until the end of the fucking movie.
Because you don't even see him like actually shoot his wife with the spearfishing equipment.
Well, you don't. Yeah, I mean,
he's just holding it in his lap, and it's implied that he does.
Yes, or maybe he doesn't. Who knows? He does. He definitely did.
You think he actually killed her?
I do.
I think it was an accident, and he just got blamed for it. But he's like, whatever. I know I didn't do it, so. He's just
I guess that's also possible. I'm not sure.
Because that's kind of how I get from his character. He's like, I didn't do it on purpose. Granted, I was holding it and it went off, but whatever.
Oh.
And he just accepts what people think of him.
Because he doesn't care.
Right. Brad Pitt, come on the podcast. I want to talk about it.
Yeah. So goodbye, Lenin.
Yeah.
Not a Quentin Tarantino movie.
I think that's a good sign up for the movie. Goodbye, Lenin. Thank you for being a movie that we liked.
Yes.
If anyone's curious about the movie and thought our explanation of it was fucking stupid, go check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. Yeah. Or it's on Amazon Instant Video. You can't watch it for free. No. Gotta shell out $3.99 if you want to watch that shit in 1920 by 1080. Or $2.99 and watch that shit like a broke piece of shit. Otherwise, John, where can the good people find you?
At Rosendoom2 on Twitter, Rosendoom1 on Instagram. You can find the podcast at LTTS Podcast on Twitter and Late to the Podcast, all one word, on Instagram. Jake, where can the good people find you?
One word. You can't space it out on.
You could put fucking like underscores.
Yeah, but you would have said underscore. Like this, watch. So for Twitter and Instagram, I'm at Jake_Lavoie.
Okay, but you only have to say it once. Late_to_the_show. No, you won't put an underscore there. But that's kind of obnoxious. You put late to the show, underscores between the words.
So at Jake_Lavoie, LAVOY. Not an I. Because some people get confused. And they also think it's Lavoie sometimes. So I said
is that way?
V, not B.
Is that why it says Jake the Boy?
Well, that was because a few kids in like early elementary school thought my name was Jake the Boy.
Nice. Anyways.
I almost spelled it Thaboi though, and I was like, I'm not that cool, so I just spelled it regular the whole way. But yeah, and then film is at Roleplay Film. We are currently still doing work on that. We're getting more people casted in it. We have a cinematographer now, most likely. We also have someone interested in just shadowing us and possibly helping
profiling
us.
It.
Yeah, and
which is cool.
Publicity for the film, which is fucking pimp nasty.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll give more information as we progress further. Thank you, everybody. Next week is The Man from U.N.C.L.E., a movie I'm really excited to watch for the 17th time. I'm really excited to be able to be the one who said, John, you should watch this movie, and then have him watch it.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to take that away from you. So yes, you were the one to tell me to watch this.
Were there other people who told you?
I've seen this like online a lot. It's like you got to watch like Man from U.N.C.L.E., something that flew under the radar, and it's one that you definitely got to watch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I hadn't heard anything about it other than the fact that it didn't do well, which really bummed me out. Because now they're not going to do a sequel to it, even though it's fucking. A sequel for this movie would be so good.
I'm interested to see it.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah. Next week, Man from U.N.C.L.E. Don't be late. Boy.